first episode of Tell Me Everything. Yay. I'm your host, Danielle Spinelli. What's up?
What's up? It's Meg Boaz, the BA producer.
Hey, this is so fun.
I know.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm so excited for the first ever debut. Danielle, you just want to kind of like start with why you're doing this. What made you come up with this amazing idea?
So amazing. So I am doing this because it kind of started off honestly at Manifest this year. Whenever you were there with me, or not with me, but you were there as well. And whenever we were there, there's so many like avenues of logistics that I was like there's like the warehousing section there, the brokerage part, which of course I know that section of it, air, rail, like all sorts of stuff, warehousing, and I was like, I don't know anything about logistics like I thought I did. So Tell Me Everything kind of started from that because I wanted to know all the things and how else to know but to talk to everybody. So that's how Tell Me Everything kind of the concept came about. And then the name came because I was at a bar with my mom and I'm trying to come up with like an idea for my podcast name. And we end up meeting like a couple people. And the whole time I'm like, talking to them and whatever. And I'm like, tell me everything about this and tell me everything about that. And, whatever. So my mom was like, I know what your show should be called. Tell me everything. So here we are.
That's kind
And
of
it
cool,
and
though.
it was
That's a cool story.
better.
It was. Okay, well, then on that theme, tell me everything about like your background, like brokerage,
Yep.
logistics, all things. Tell me.
Sure. I started off as a broker. I was a broker for 8 years. First, I was in postal stuff, which was like,
Boo
God bless
boo.
everybody who's still in postal. That was rough.
Yeah.
Never slept. I didn't have any holiday time. Peak season was a nightmare. And then I switched from there, went to a different brokerage and specialized in copper and electrical wire. And I was in carrier sales. So I did Southeast to Northeast, Southeast to Midwest. And then after a few years, then switched over to My Hero Portal. And now I'm then we got acquired by Descartes. So now I'm part of Descartes. And here we are.
Yeah. And my career portal, you left out the best part. That's where she
Yeah,
met me.
that's where I met
And
you. I know. And
yeah,
we became besties for the rest.
we did. Yeah. That was such a fun time.
It was so fun.
I found this old video of it's the I don't know, the resolution is terrible, but it was like us when we were at the Thai User Summit and we're like
Yeah.
coming out from like the
Oh my
I
god, we
found
should
that.
show that on here. That was so funny. I remember who was it that we made film? We were like, "You
It was
have to."
Chris.
Oh
It
my
was
gosh,
Chris with Chain.
with Shane, that's right. Oh my
Yeah.
god, that was so funny. And I'm like, You're the best videographer there ever was." We're jumping behind. We're like, "Hey."
But when you think about it, like just two grown women like popping out from behind like a table like it's no big deal
I know.
is
That was like the first time I ever met him. So I'm sure he was like, "Who are these girls?"
actually I think that bonded us. I love that guy.
Oh my god,
He's
me too. I
yeah.
honestly that Thai summit was so fun because like I met so many great people and then
Hmm.
like blossomed a bunch of relationships from there, and that was
Yeah,
fun. I
I
love
know.
conferences, if you didn't
I
know.
do too. And you
Yeah.
know what? Like a lot of people don't, but I'm like, that's like my thing. I love like talking to people and I like having a booth
Yeah,
and like working the booth.
me
I
too.
don't like going and just kind of like perusing around and not having like a home base. That is Akko Taco.
Yeah, that's hard. I don't know, I wish I didn't have to do any booths, and after 5 o'clock, that's when I came out. That was like rolling out
That's
the red
fun.
carpet, here she comes to all the happy hours.
You like
That's my
that part.
jam. That's
You're
really
good at that.
fun. That's where I excel at. Yeah.
So I actually have another like memory from a conference or whatever, and somebody was looking for Danielle, and I was talking to them. I'm like, okay, I go, all you got to do is just look for whoever's going, hey, what's
Oh my
up?
god.
And I'm not even joking. The we were like looking around, and there you were, like, what's up? Yeah, what's up? I'm like, there she is. I was like,
Oh
I
my
told
god.
you she was going to be doing that.
That's so
That is like
funny.
burned in my brain. So
Yeah, just look for
so
me with my hand
fun.
up. Get
Uh,
up. All right, Meg, well, tell us everything about you.
Okay. Let's see. So, like logistics wise, without like getting like all into the boring background, because really I come from like project management, direct sales kind of stuff. But I
You had
found
your own businesses for a while too, right? That's like
I
prior to
did.
yeah.
Yeah. So like
That's like the entrepreneur
weirdly,
spirit.
this this right here, I had my own leather manufacturing company,
What was your company called? What does it say on there?
Urban Swagger.
Oh, I like the
Yep.
name. I
So
need a
yeah, I
purse.
used
Do you have
to.
any extra purses? Hook me
I
up with a purse.
do. I do.
Dude,
I have some supply. I don't have a whole bunch, but like, I was like making this stuff out of India. I was getting my shipments from India.
god dang. So you
It
like
was
were
just
like OG logistics by making your own stuff and getting it shipped here.
I
That's like
did, and I would have like all my backpacks and purses like on my shoulders, and I'd walk into boutiques like just sweating profusely. I
oh my
think a lot of
gosh.
people just felt bad for me, but
Well, at least you didn't have like a jacket that you're like, wanna see my watches?
$5. No,
Yes.
they're real. They're real.
These are my purses. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Or out of like the back of my trunk, just like, come here. You want to
Yeah.
see something? So yeah, I have an entrepreneurial spirit, but logistics wise, I found Thai software randomly. I had no experience with logistics. I didn't even really know what a freight broker did. So I was kind of surprised that he gave me a shot, but I
He
totally
has
like
a Mitch
immersed
or he
myself.
isn't who?
Oh, Sean. Yeah, Sean. He actually taught me quite a bit. Yeah.
He's a
Um,
smart dude.
Yeah, yeah. So I loved it. I took like freight broker classes. I shadowed a freight broker, and I'm like, I kind of thought about being a freight broker for like a really short period of time, and then I'm like, nah, I want to sleep. And
Right.
yeah, you guys have it hard for real. That's a hard job. But then from there, I went to My Care Portal, loved it, got to meet you,
So fun.
and now I'm here at Sunnybrook TMS.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
So
I
I'm
think
in
that's all.
Gainesville, Georgia is my location. Where you be at?
I have to say St. Louis because a lot of people don't know where Wentzville is, but it's like 40 miles west of St. Louis. So it's like in 45 minutes, I get to Columbia. Another hour and a half, I'm at KC Chiefs. So
That's your team, right?
those are my boys. Oh, we're only a couple months away.
I know. I'm actually hopefully going up there coming up in like a month or so for one of my customers I'm pretty excited about.
We should coordinate.
We should.
Because I go up there, that's where our Sunnybrook headquarters is. So
That's
I'll be
right.
going up
I
there.
forgot about that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You got to get Johnny Boy on here.
Mm,
Yep.
yeah, we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wrote that down on my little postie. Johnny boy.
Johnny Boy. So fun. I'm so happy that we get to work together again.
I know. It is going to be fun.
I know. You know, it's so funny. And like I've talked about you like a lot. I don't know if you've listened to like me on any other thing, but they're like, whenever I won the Women in Logistics award of 2024, they were like, who is your mentor and who do you look up to? And I was like, honestly, my girl Meg. Like that sounds super corny, and I'm not a corny person, by the way. Like this is
No, you're not.
cringy talking like this, but no, like when it like the first conference, so that was what Manifest of 2024. That was my very first conference
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was so much fun.
that was so fun in Vegas.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
Vegas. And you were
Setting
like,
up the booth.
yeah, I know. And you were literally like, come on, I'm introducing you to everybody. So then we just
Hmm.
walked around the floor and you introduced me to everybody. And then every conference after that while you were with MCP was so fun.
I know. It was like putting up the booth. I remember just like laughing
Oh
so
my God.
hard. We were across from Ty and they're like, what is so funny? I don't remember what we were doing. Like something was happening, but I
Oh
was
no, remember
standing
we
on a
went to
chair.
yeah, well we had like basically okay, FYI everybody, those conferences, they charge like how much money is it to rent like a table? It's like stupid.
Crazy. Yeah.
And like a piece of carpet, which they reuse every single conference, is like hundreds of dollars,
So it was a
right?
trash
Yeah,
can,
trash
like a
can.
little tiny trash can. I'm like, no, let's go to Target.
Yeah. I mean,
Where
so
did we go?
yeah, so we needed like a podium to put all of the swag on. And
Yeah.
they were gonna charge like I want to say it was like $500 or something insane. And we're like, we can just and you had a rental car. You're like, let's just go to TJ Maxx or Home
That's
Goods or
what it
something
was.
like that. Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like, or maybe it was Target, something like that. And you're
Hmm.
like, let's just build this. We're building this like We're
Rickety ass
building all of
shelf.
this furniture, like IKEA mode, building furniture, and that's whenever the and, like, Ty had this enormous, like, super fancy thing, and we're, like, just
Sweating
we're just, like,
profusely,
wood
putting
we're,
it
like,
up.
carpenters at this point.
We don't need a stinking directions.
No way, I know, I
Right.
think I built it wrong too, it was, like, backwards.
It was backward, yeah, but it
You know what?
worked.
No,
We
we
left
can't
it
all be
there, we didn't even
yeah, we did leave it there. I'm pretty sure we like, the company probably got fined or something for leaving trash. We just left it on the thing. But
Oh my
now I'm
god.
big pimpin', by the way. I'm part of Descartes, so they got, like, big booths, they do it all, and I'm like,
Right.
"Okay."
I know, I know. I'm excited because I just ordered a booth today, so I get to, like, design it, and but I told them 'cause they haven't done a booth yet, I'm like, we're gonna be putting this together. We're gonna get there the day before. It's just us rolling up our sleeves, we're not gonna have help. No, we got this."
Yeah.
Grassroots stuff. I love it, though.
I love that too, I think it's so fun. And,
Yeah.
yeah, I just the part of conferences were, like, networking and meeting people and all those type of things are so fun. I
Yeah.
just have such a blast. So I'm kind of in, like so right I had my last conference was in May, so I had June, July, August off,
Okay,
right?
that's
Or did I go
nice.
on one in June? No, I haven't went this month.
What was in May? Did I miss something? Because we had TIA in April. Did you go to Matt's?
I did go to Mass. That was in March or something, though. Let me see my handy dancer.
Oh, you had a speaking event,
Oh, I was at
like a
Broker Carrier Summit.
oh,
Duh.
yeah, I was there too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We were there
Was that
together.
May?
That was early May. Yeah. 'Cause I
Yeah,
was
I
at
went
Indy,
to
and then I went to another one, which was somewhere oh, then I went to Freight Waves. That was in Dallas. It was 110 degrees in Dallas. It was so hot.
but it's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat, but it
So
was so
you're
hot.
totally fine.
Oh my god. Well, I had to take a customer call outside and, like, sitting outside in the blazing heat, you know? But no, that
Baking
was
internally.
interesting. I like going to those type of conferences because, of course, then I learn so my Fraud Girl Fridays. What up? Fraud Girl Fridays, I can get some, like, intel and talk on. But
Yeah.
I guess I've been to so many conferences, I'm kinda, like, waiting on this fall. I'm hoping people have new content because it's like I kept hearing the same thing over and over again. So,
I
hoping Fraud Girl
know.
Fridays less boring than that.
Yeah. No, it's not gonna be boring. I think, I totally agree. I think they're just kind of, like, recycling all the same content, and that's why I like this. That's why I like Tell Me Everything, because it's something that's totally not out there. It's just learning about people and their stories and literally tell me everything, instead of being like, "Let's talk about fraud today. How about AI?" It's like,
Yeah,
"Oh my gosh, if I have to hear that one more time, bro,
I
I
know.
don't wanna watch any more podcasts or anything about that," you know?
Well, even, like, learning like, watching a podcast just about a product, I just I like, "Cool, I'll do a demo," but, like, I wanna learn,
Right.
like I like to know, like, the people behind a product, like, what motivated you to make this? How did you actually follow through, like, have the courage to follow through and follow your dream and do this? Like, I just think it's so
It's
cool, so
cool.
I'm excited to talk to people like that.
I know. I love talking to business owners too, because well, I mean, I've always wanted to have my own business, and it's like it takes big old marbles.
Mhm.
I mean, it really does because
Yeah,
like it could go terribly wrong. You're usually fronting your own money, and
right.
especially like starting a brokerage,
It takes a lot of money to start your own brokerage,
it
and, like,
does. And
you
like
yeah,
I mean, being like an agent with like CH and you're like, I'm going on my own. I mean,
right.
that's risky, dude. It's
Very
risky.
risky.
And then you have people who freaking are successful a year later. It's like, that is seriously good work. I talked to a guy today who's up to like 300 shipments a month. And he just broke off like a year and a half ago.
That's
I was
wild.
like, and he's young. And I was like, that is such a good job. But
Right.
he's like, yeah, he's really proud of himself, but it's hard
Yeah.
work.
No, I think that's to me, the entrepreneurship of really the whole logistics industry, a lot of people are starting their own thing.
Mhm.
Even being an agent, you really have, like, your own business.
Book of
You're just
business.
not fronting, I guess, the money or whatever,
For
but
the tech stack and stuff, but still
yeah,
you're running your own stuff. Yeah, for
right.
sure.
Totally. And even,
Yep.
even, like, as a driver, you know what I mean? Like, the things that they have to do and coming up with, like and taking care of your truck, and I can't even not hit a curb in my Jeep, so I can't even imagine driving a truck. People would
My
not be, surviving.
But my husband was, a truck driver for, like, a year, and kudos to the family that's behind while the husband because, like, they're gone all the time, like, 90% of the time, it's, like, on the road, sleeping in the back of their truck, showering at truck stops. I mean, it's like a gypsy hobo hobo
Right,
life on
right.
wheels, but still, like, no. We should get a carrier on the show, though, just to, like, hear about, like, the inner like, the stories that they have. They have so many interesting
There's so many
stories, like
stories.
yeah, like
And
crazy
they see
stuff,
some things. They see some
like
things on the truck.
lot lot lizards.
Yeah.
Well, I heard about, like, the story, like, you'll be in your truck and all of a sudden it'll be like, "No, you can't see it,"
You
but, like,
disappeared.
walking up
All of a sudden a ghost appears.
it's really creepy, but it's like, you just hear, like, a knock on the truck and there's, like they call them lot lizards, and it's, like, women just, like, kinda perusing the
Let's
lots.
get a lot lizard on the podcast.
For real, we should.
Oh my
Gift
god,
card
tell
to
me everything about
McDonald's.
your job as a lot lizard.
How'd you get into this?
How did you do this? This is so interesting.
This is for the ladies out there. Anyway, lot
Yeah.
lizard life.
Oh my god, so funny. Well,
Yeah.
it's really cool too being like a woman in logistics. A lot of the women in logistics though are um kind of like a guy's gal. You know what I mean? Like I think it's such a male heavy
1,000%.
industry. I feel like everybody I know that's a girl in logistics is like very much like that's probably why I'm such good friends with like most of the women that are in logistics.
Mhm.
Pretty much all. I don't think I've ever met a girl I didn't like because they're all just so
One of the guys.
they're one of the, and that's how I am. Like
Mhm.
hang out
It's
all
like
night, hang out with them.
Chrissy Knitchell. Love her. Such a BA. Such a BA. And then you got like Dawn from like Green Screens, Carrie
Yeah.
with Trucker Tools. We
Yep.
have a lot of BA women in our
Really cool
industry though.
women, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. It's a different
Yeah.
skill to be a woman in power in logistics. You know what I
I
mean?
was just gonna say, because like not to get on this whole like trippy like feminist, like there's so many men, but
Sure. So
it's a
deprived.
little challenging, like I mean you are a real minority in this. Like you go to a conference and there's like one woman to like 50 dudes.
Mhm. Which has gotten better.
So
You know what's funny is, like, even since whenever we went to our first or, like, I went to my first one last year,
yeah.
compared to now, like, just the difference. So, like, I don't know if it's just because, like,
Really?
more women are being sent to these things, I don't know, but it's, like, a lot more women are showing up, which is really cool, and that's exciting.
Yeah.
But
I
and they're all
like it
cool,
too.
so.
Yeah, we are cool.
Then we have some instances at some conferences that are the dudes are super,
Gross.
they get gross. They get drunk and they get gross.
Yeah.
So there's
Like
like a fine line, right? Especially
absolutely.
yeah,
And hopefully we get Cassandra on here, but like that was just that dude was out of control.
out of
Like
control. Like, we were both part of that, you know?
yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, it was like and, like, honestly, it's like it was funny, I went to another conference right after that, and they're like, "Was it really that bad?" Like, "Some guys just, do this and that." I'm like, "Yeah, but it was that bad."
There's a
Like,
point. There's a
there's a
point. Like
point. We get
there's
pretty drunk, like, "Hey, man, you gotta go back to your room." But then there's like,
right.
"Dude, you need to be arrested."
For real. I
Yeah.
mean, like, there's definitely, like and that's, like, a thick line. I mean, I don't know. Like, I can let a lot of stuff, like, roll off my shoulders, like, especially if somebody's drunk, it's like, "Okay, yeah, exactly, like, go back to your room." But
Yeah.
if you touch someone,
Yeah.
nah, dog. I'm glad that didn't happen to me, it would've been, like, a brawl, and I've never been in a fight.
You haven't? Girl.
I know, I've always wanted to be.
Oh, yeah.
We should
Girls
fight.
throw hands.
Throw bows.
Oh my god, I was just on the Stop the Scam podcast today. He was John's so nice on there, and he, like, had me come on there to, like, promote my show, or our show, I
Cool.
should say. And, he was like, "It's so funny because I just feel like it's such a Barbie theme on your show." I'm like, "Oh my god." Whenever we were coming up with logo concepts, I was like, "What if we did the Barbie?"
Barbie.
You're like,
I
"I
even
think
had,
that
like,
would
the
be
font.
copyrighted."
So who's gonna be, like, the first person I mean, after us, like, who's gonna be, like, the first show?
First
Is
show,
it
I'm pretty sure is
Drum
going to
Kit?
be, Drew from, Drum Kit.
Awesome
Then we're gonna
dude.
have Kevin Combs, who's now with Chain.
Love that guy.
Love that. I love both those guys. I think
Mhm.
Groove is the nicest guy in logistics. Like, I think he should have that title. He's so nice.
He he does have that title. Like
Yeah.
I've never met a nicer human being and just so sweet, like
Oh,
to the core, you
so
know?
yeah.
Always smiling,
Oh,
really
and he's
white
so like
teeth.
he'll be like, "Hey, I was just thinking about you and checking on you. How are things? Like,
Yeah,
you're doing so great." I'm like, "Dude, can you just always be my cheerleader in the
I
background?"
know.
I
Yeah,
love that
he's
guy.
sweet.
And then what's cool with Kevin, and he's coming on, we're talking a lot about mental illness and like how really this industry really freaking grinds at you. And you're like, how do you reset? How do
Right.
you like still be yourself and like not lose yourself in work? I don't know, but I mean, you remember when, like back at MCP, we were
We've
both
talked
like
about that.
working
Yeah.
24 hours a day.
Yep.
I mean,
And
like
it
you got to do what you got to
and I mean, or I mean, you could just drink a lot.
do. Yes, or
But
that.
I mean, I'm going on like 9 months not drinking, and like the grind is way less grindy, I gotta say. Like I feel
Really.
like like way more calm about things, but just trying to like do that whole work-life balance and just be like,
Yeah.
okay, all this stuff is gonna be here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like
I know.
call it quits. You know, like I can't sit here and work till 8 o'clock because I have a family, you know?
Yeah, which I guess I'm, like, addicted to working, so I
I
have
love it. I know. Well, I mean, there's always so much to do, and I do love it, but then it's kind of like,
Yeah,
I got kids.
I know, I got kids too. Let's talk about our kids.
Eh.
You have
My kids
2,
are
2
great.
boys.
I do. Two boys, Rigsby and Deacon,
They're super cute, by the way.
loves of my life, 12 and 15. Rigsby's like my motorcycle, guitarist, golfer dude. And then you got Deacon,
Motorcycle
who's just,
guitarist, golfer.
I
That's like a
know.
cool yeah, like all the
He's gonna
cool
get
guy things.
all the ladies.
Yeah,
He really is. And then Deacon is like I've always called him my old soul because
mm.
he just like gets me and like I can have like deep conversation. Even when he's little, I'll be like, "What do you think about this? Should
He's
mommy
like,
wear this?"
I think there's a flat earth. I do, mom.
And I'm like, I believe you. I'm
Had to
following
do some
Deacon."
research on this, and as a toddler,
Yeah,
it's watching YouTube.
exactly. But
Deacon's your
so the
youngest or he's the Rigsby's
he's my
oldest?
oldest. Rigsby's the
Deacon's oldest.
youngest.
Okay.
Deacon's my oldest, and he's just like such a good kid. I got blessed with that guy.
There's
Well,
something
both of
about
them.
the
I'm
oldest
blessed.
too.
They're just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe because they had like undivided attention. That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Like birth order is like a real thing, you
Birth
know?
order is a real thing. Or what are you?
Second
Firstborn? Secondborn.
and youngest.
Oh, so really youngest. You have youngest siblings. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I'm the oldest and, yeah, I ran the household, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
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 I
Well,
poor
okay, so what about your kiddos? Lexi,
so I
Sebastian.
have 3. It was a his, hers, and ours, so it's 16, 16, 10. And, my daughter and all my kids play sports all the time. So my daughter plays softball and basketball. That's like her life. And then now she drives and she has so much fun with all her girlfriends and just living like the high school best life. I'm like reliving high school through her. It's really fun.
Yeah.
And then my 16-year-old son, he's 6'6" and is a basketball king. Like he had this huge weekend this past weekend and a lot of D1 people looking at him. So
Oh my gosh, that's
fingers
awesome.
crossed, freaking out. And then my youngest is my soulmate. His name is Brody, and, he's just the best. He is the one
Cute.
that's kinda like my old soul, but whenever he was little, he would watch, like, would be, like, watching, like, adult movies, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking, like, little, like,
Adult
baby.
movie.
Okay, that
Not
sounds
like
bad.
not like hey Birdie.
Hey, no, we were watching,
Hey.
like, I don't know, Anchorman, let's say, like, something funny, right?
Okay.
And, like, non-cartoonish, and as, like, a toddler, he'd be, like, laughing at all the funny, like, parts, and you're like,
Like
"This
he
isn't a
gets it.
cartoon." Yeah, he gets it. He's always been super funny. He's super music inclined, like, he makes his own playlist and, like, introduced me to a bunch of new
Ooh.
songs. Yeah, so he is, like, ladies ma he's got a girlfriend right now. Her name's
Okay.
Macy, and if I just say, "How's your girlfriend?" He's like, her name is Macy. Please remember her name." I'm like, "Whoa, okay."
That's my bae.
Yeah, so he takes that serious. Yeah, that's
Wait,
my
how
whole fam.
how old is Brody? 10, right?
He's, 10, almost 11.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
going into middle school, so I have no more babies in elementary.
I know. It was hard. Yeah, I cried when Rigsby got on the bus for middle school because just realizing like I don't really have like littles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but lots of fun shows coming up. Really excited. Um, stay tuned. So every Friday, Frog Girl Friday. Every other Tuesday, Tell Me Everything. Frog Girl Fridays are going to be really, I guess, more educational because I want there to be education stuff, but then I want there to be lots of fun. So
Absolutely.
yeah, the fraud
Lots
stuff,
of cackles.
lots of cackles. Oh my God. That's so fun. I wish we would have somehow like Tell Me Everything cackle edition.
Well, there's just always going to be cackling involved, so
Right. Of
it'll be
course.
there.
That's fun. That's why.
Yeah. But I'm excited. I'm so proud of you. You're
Thank
doing it.
you for being a part of this. I'm so happy. Very
Yeah.
thankful for you.
I'm
So
thankful for you. So tune in, everybody. Watch Tammy, watch Danielle blossom, and tell your friends
tell your friends, like and subscribe. I feel like like my kid's YouTuber.
down
Like and
below.
hit the like button, hit the
Yep.
subscribe button, follow me
Yep.
on LinkedIn.
Take a
Yeah.
minute to review. Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Review people. That's actually that's a good point. I didn't know that there was such an algorithm in podcasting, but now that like
There is.
my phone hears me talk about it, my reels and TikToks are like constantly about like how to increase your algorithm and how to get your viewers up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. Cackle.
Cackle.
I cackle. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. Stay tuned. See you in 2 weeks.
Okay.